Hello, my name is Gabby, welcome back to my channel, and today I thought it would be fun to do another try a chapter tag with some new thrillers. Sourcebooks was kind enough to send me these 10 new young adult thrillers that are coming out anytime between now and January. And this video isn't sponsored or anything, but I just thought it would be fun since they sent me this package full of young adult thrillers to read the first chapter of them and let you know my thoughts about them. Let's just show you the books. So the first one is The Dark Beneath the Ice. The next one is The Lost by Natasha Preston. The next one is The Last to Die by Kelly Garrett. The next one is going to be The Last Witness by Claire McFall. The next one is going to be When the Light Went Out by Bridget Morrissey. Next one is going to be Here There Are Monsters. I believe I actually do have a copy of this somewhere, but now I have to. Next one is going to be That Night by Sin Balog. Next up we have I Have No Secrets. And then lastly, we have Scared Little Rabbits. Is that 10? I think it's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 9. Okay, there's 9. I thought there was 10, but there's 9. So I don't think I'm going to go in any particular order when reading these first chapters. I'm just going to pick one that sounds interesting and start reading the first chapters. I think it'll be a good idea though for me to just read these first chapters and get a feel for each book, because I literally have no idea what any of these books are about. Like, not the slightest clue. They just reached out to me and they were like, hey, do you want some new young adult thrillers? And I was like, sure. And I will be honest, young adult thrillers aren't usually my favorite genre. Like, I love thrillers so much, but for some reason young adult thrillers are a lot harder for me to connect with for some reason, and I just don't enjoy them as often as I enjoy adult thrillers. So this should be interesting. Like, we'll see if I find something that I really enjoy. And whichever one of these are like the most appealing to me, then I'm gonna try to include these in my October reading plans, because I'm saving all of the thrillers for October and I'm really excited about it. Hi, sorry, I'm lazy. I moved to my bed and that's where we're staying. I just read the first chapter of Scared Little Rabbits and my fears have been confirmed because this felt very young adult for me. But I just read on the cover, it says that this is a Wattpad sensation. So now I'm not surprised that I didn't really enjoy this first chapter. Wattpad is, for some reason, I never enjoy things that got big and successful off of Wattpad. First chapter of this, there's a little prologue and it's this girl was found somewhere, her body was found. But then the first chapter goes into this high school drama, why doesn't this boy like me and I just want him to like me. There's this Insta-Love app that she downloads and uses, and it's not digging this first chapter so far. Not sure if I will continue with this one. So fingers crossed for the next one. I just finished the first chapter for I Have No Secrets, and this first chapter was only 3 pages, but so far this one's a bit more interesting to me already because it follows this main character girl who is in a wheelchair. But the first chapter is very hard to read because this guy that's her babysitter's boyfriend or whatever is being a fucking douchebag to her. And so that was kind of hard to read because he was mocking her basically. I think the main character also might be mute or something, or she's choosing not to speak. I don't really know, but I just read the back description and it says she knows who the murderer is. She knows because he told her. He thought his secret was safe with her because she can't speak or move. But then there's a new technology, which means she might be able to communicate and reveal all that she knows. And so it's interesting. I don't know, this might be something that I'm interested in picking up. But I liked the first chapter, so woo! So good to know at least one of these might work out for me. I just finished reading the first chapter of That Night. I'm a little bit underwhelmed by this one as well. It has this prologue in the beginning and it's about this girl who her boyfriend recently shot himself and killed himself. And then we get this flashback as the first chapter to to a couple years before when she lost her virginity to his stepbrother, I think. This one kind of has that thing that I really dislike in books when it's just this guy that's just so desirable and just so cool and just all the girls want him, you know. It has this quote in it. It says, he doesn't have to lift a finger to be a magnet to the opposite sex. He has female admirers coming out of his ears, more girls than he knows what to do with. It's just kind of obnoxious, wow. Wow, you're just so attractive and perfect. You just have no flaws. I don't know. It's just a pet peeve of mine, so Not really digging this one either. This one also feels just like too young for me, which I feel like might be the case for a lot of these. I just started Here There Are Monsters. Look at this like part 1 page. Isn't it so freaking beautiful? Pretty design to it, like all the little designs in between. And then like, wow. I just think it's like a really beautiful page. Okay, I'm gonna continue, but just thought I'd let you know. Okay, just finished the first chapter of Here There Are Monsters. This chapter was 23 pages, the first chapter, and it was quite long, but this is like by far the one I've enjoyed the most out of all of the books so far. And it kind of sucks aesthetic-wise because this is probably my least favorite cover in this entire stack, but it's fine, it's whatever. But I'm kind of glad that I'm enjoying this one because I know for sure that I have another copy of this book somewhere. So I'm glad that this is the one that I'm enjoying. But this story follows these two sisters. The main like thriller thing that's happening in this book is that her little sister just went missing. And they just moved to this new place where there's like these woods right next to their house. And they're like, she really likes playing out in the woods. And they think she went missing, like she got lost in the woods. Like they don't really know if she got abducted or what. I like that so far. It's kind of like this really creepy vibe and you're not sure if she was taken by like something paranormal or like just a human or if she got lost. Like I don't even know. I mentioned in my Things I Love in Books video that I love books that follow sisters, and I feel like this one has a very strong sister relationship so far, and I just think this one's like the best written book so far. Like this one feels like something I would actually read. It reads like really beautifully, like the writing is really pretty. And it's just great, and it's like fascinating so far. So I'm actually probably gonna plan to read this one now for sure in October. I feel like this is like such a perfect mood for Halloween too, because like the very first night in this book is the night before Halloween, and it's just very spooky and like atmospheric. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I'm actually surprised. Lit! Just finished the first chapter of When the Light Went Out. So the first chapter of this book doesn't even really feel like a thriller yet. It just mainly follows this girl who is best friends with this girl that accidentally got killed in a shooting. And then this book takes place 5 years later when she's at this memorial for her friend, and she's just kind of dealing with all that grief still and dealing with like her friends who were there, and she's like the youngest one in her friend group, and so she was the youngest one that saw this happen at such a young age. And I don't know, it doesn't really feel to me like a thriller so far. I guess this is about how she discovers this scavenger hunt that was orchestrated by the girl Marley before she died, and they must come together to complete it. And it's gonna like answer questions about what happened. So this one feels more like the kind of thriller when like the events, like the thrilling events have already happened, and she's just trying to figure out what exactly happened back then. I don't know, I'm not like super intrigued by this one, which kind of sucks because this one's probably my favorite book cover out of all of them. Like this one's just so cute. Not to be shallow. But yeah, I don't know about this one so far. Like it's okay. I don't know if I'm interested enough in this to continue reading.
That's gas.
So just finished the first chapter of The Last Witness. I take it back, I think this one's actually my favorite cover. Not that you care what my favorite cover is, but this first chapter was short. To be honest, I'm not totally sure what I just read. I think it's about this girl that's like in this institute or something because they like want her to sign these forms saying that she's mentally stable enough to leave the facility to go and get this like surgery that she's supposed to get. I don't even know. But I just read the back and it says 1 year ago she survived, but being the last one standing has consequences. This trip that takes a sinister turn that brings Heather's plans to a violent end. And I don't know, like the first chapter really didn't give me much, honestly. But I feel like this is definitely something that I'm still interested in, just mainly out of curiosity because I'm like, what did I just read? I think another reason too why I think this one would be great for a readathon is because it's only 260 pages, so I feel like this one would be easy to bust out within like a day, and like in October I want to participate in as many readathons as possible, so I feel like this one would be great, you know, just because of the length. Just finished the first chapter of The Last to Die, and I'm very underwhelmed by this first chapter. I guess this book is about this group of teenagers who break into each other's houses for fun, and the first chapter is just of them planning to do that and drinking alcohol. And then on the back it says, whoever's turn it was to break in got a rush and the rest of us laughed over the trophies they brought back, but then someone went too far, lives were ruined, someone is dead, and I might be next. So, I don't know, I'm kind of like interested in like where this story could go, but at the same time, like, I don't know, like, why is it always in young adult thrillers, why do they always do that whole like someone is a killer and I might be next? Like, I always see that kind of like trope thing used in young adult books so often. And like, I think adult books, they do use that trope, but they don't like say that like right on the nose. Like, all of these descriptions are like, I might be next because like the killer is gonna know I'm after them or whatever, you know? I guess I just find young adult thrillers to be so much more dramatic than adult thrillers, you know? Or maybe just because I find teenagers, like, I feel like teenagers are just so much more dramatic. But this one's okay. Like, I don't know, like, if this one gets good reviews from, like, other reviewers, then I might read it. Because this premise is interesting. But so far, the first chapter is, like, meh. Oh my gosh, I just opened this first page, The Dark Beneath the Ice. Look at how pretty that is. And I just realized that this one is the same author as Here There Are Monsters, which is the only other one that I've really, really, really enjoyed. Now I'm having higher hopes for this one. Let's hope this first chapter is good. Wow, I'm really enjoying this one too so far. The first chapter was about 12 pages, and this book, just like this author's other book, is written very well. And I feel like this author is really good at drawing you into the characters like right away. Like, you feel like emotionally attached to them right away. And this one is like about this girl who isn't sure if what she's experiencing is real or not, and her mom has just like checked herself into a hospital, and her dad has just like ran away from their family, and she's like experiencing a lot of emotional trauma, but she's also kind of like hallucinating in a way, or she thinks she might be, because she like breaks this mirror, but she doesn't remember breaking it, so she doesn't know if she did it or not. She's trying to figure out what's real and what's not real, and it's kind of giving me like Mara Dyer vibes in a way. Wow, I'm just really impressed with this one as well, and like, I definitely want to continue reading this. I can already tell that this author, just from reading the first chapter of her 2 books, I feel like she's really good at writing emotional family stories, you know, that make you actually care about the characters, but it's also going to be like, hopefully going to be like creepy horror shit, you know? Because the first chapter of this book wasn't exactly like super, super creepy or anything. It was just her thinking like, did I do that? Or did I just hallucinate that? Or like, you know, she's just like freaked out and in her own head. But like, I'm very interested in continuing this book, which is surprising. So I think I'm definitely going to be adding these 2 to my October TBR. The very last book on this is The Lost by Natasha Preston, which I'm nervous about because I have read The Cellar by Natasha Preston, and I wasn't a huge fan, and this is a Wattpad story, another one, so fingers crossed for this one. So, just finished the first chapter of The Lost, and as expected, it was pretty mediocre, in my opinion. This book, it mainly follows these 2 girls who, in their town, all these teenagers have been running away, and now there's like 11 teenagers that have run away, and the police are just saying that these kids ran away and that they don't have any suspicions that these kids might have been abducted, which is shocking. And then our main character and her best friend are gonna like take it upon themselves to try to figure out what's actually going on with these teenagers and like where they're disappearing to. You know, I find it pretty hard to believe though that the cops wouldn't think, after 11 kids disappeared, that they're just all deciding to run away and that they're not, like, getting fucking abducted. I'm not a huge fan of, like, thrillers when there's, like, a situation like that, like, with people going missing and then the cops, like, are, like, not doing anything about it, so this teenager is like, I'm gonna take it upon myself to go and figure out the truth. Like, I don't mind it so much if the character is an adult for some reason, but, like, when the character is a teenager, it just, like, makes me want to roll my eyes or something, because I'm like, don't put yourself in danger. Like, you're a teenager. Out of all of these, I think it's safe to say that my most enjoyed first chapters and the books that I'm most likely to continue reading are The Dark Beneath the Ice and Here There Are Monsters. And it's so crazy because these are by the same author. And so I feel like I've found an author that I vibe with, at least for the first chapter. Like, I can't really say, but I'm pretty confident that I'm going to be adding these books to my October TBR and hopefully getting to them soon because they both really piqued my interest. And I'm really surprised by these, honestly, because not to be like that basic bitch, but these two are probably my least favorite covers out of all of the covers. Not that covers matter, obviously they don't, because substance is more important. These stories just feel like more interesting to me than the rest of them. So really excited to read these, actually, and hoping to get to these in October. The ones that I feel like now I'm for sure probably not interested in reading is Scared Little Rabbits. This one just had a very, very young feel to me that's just like not all that interesting to me. And same with The Last to Die. Like, I don't know, unless this one gets really good reviews, this one just also felt very young to me for some reason. That Night also feels very young to me, and I don't know if this would be something I would actually read. I also probably wouldn't end up reading The Lost just because I wasn't a huge fan of Natasha Preston before, and so I just feel like I wouldn't be now. I don't know, I feel like these three books too definitely have potential. Like, I could see potential with these ones, but When the Light Went Out kind of feels more contemporary to me so far than thriller at this point. The Last Witness and I Have No Secrets, I feel like these ones definitely have some potential, and these ones are some of the shorter ones out of all of them. So I feel like these ones might be perfect for like thrillers to read during readathons in October or like whenever. So I might get to these two if the mood hits where I'm like, I need a short thriller, and here we go. But yeah, those are the 10, actually it's 9 young adult thrillers that they sent me. So thank you so much to Sourcebooks. And thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know what your thoughts are on any of these books, if you've read any of these books, or if any of these books sound interesting to you and you're planning on checking them out now. And thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you guys soon with a new video.